All right. So the part that is left is feces. So इससे पहले के class में we did urine, right? Now feces is left. You've already just written the assignment on feces. What can you tell me about feces? What are the characteristics that you look for in feces? अच्छा, ये use करने के बजाय it is better to use that one, no? Yeah. What can you tell me about feces? What are the characteristics that you look for?
color,
Hmm.
odor,
Excuse me. Color and
order,
odor. Okay.
odor,
volume,
Hmm. Amount. Kind of important, especially in patients who have digestion, indigestion or diarrhea or things like that. और और क्या देखते हैं? चार पैरामीटर्स ही देखते हैं. pH, mucus, blood.
presence of parasites,
Excuse me, your voice is
presence of
choppy,
fat,
Akansha. Presence of fat, yes. Blood, fat. You'll see for concretions. Congregations के अलावा और क्या देखते? You can check for stercobilin, corpophyrin, occult blood, nitrogen. All of these you'll check for when you take a sample of feces and you run a diagnostic test over it. Okay, now we'll go one after the other. First of all, color. What are abnormal colors for feces? So, for example, if it is dark green color, what will it represent? अच्छा, normally dark gray रहना क्या? Does anyone's feces look dark gray in color, or should it look dark gray in color? More importantly,
no,
no. Okay.
it's
Um,
golden brown.
yeah, it is somewhat yellowish brown in color. So, what does dark gray color represent? Achha, I'll just go over them. Dark gray color generally represents either taking excessive cocoa or chocolate ingestion. That will cause dark gray color. If it is reddish or black brown, like blackish brown, it will generally be because a patient is taking a lot of fruits. Several different varieties of fruits are being consumed. Green color will generally be because of chlorophyllc vegetables or due to a lot of amount of spinach. Sometimes it can be because of biliverdin, but mostly it is because of excessive consumption of any green leafy vegetable or any chlorophyllc vegetable. If you see fresh red color, it might be due to fresh blood, it might be due to beet ingestion as well. Beetroot ingestion की वजह से भी हो सकता. Yellow color is normal. Sometimes you will also see yellow in rhubarb ingestion or senna ingestion. Clay colored stools, specifically very important, clay colored stools will occur in obstructive jaundice. Stercobilin will not reach your feces, and as such that feces will be clay in color, clay colored. Then you have tarry black, like completely dark black, you feces rata, that will occur in hemorrhage, specifically hemorrhage of your stomach or of your upper intestine. See, these are some of the colors, different colors, and from which you can obtain different diagnostic values, as in come to different diagnostic conclusions. Then coming to odor, normally the odor is somewhat aromatic. You will have a indole type of odor. Indole बोल के chemical रहता, similar odor रहती. Now this odor is much more higher in patients who take more amount of protein. This odor will become very sour or rancid when a person is taking milk and that is not digested properly, especially in older children and sometimes in adults as well. If they are taking milk that is not digested properly in the body, उनके अंदर rancid stools रह सकता. कभी कभी infants के उसमें भी बहुत common है sour or rancid type of uh, stool, because they are only drinking milk, their only food is milk, so their stool will be very rancid. It can be putrid when the patient has diarrhea, severe diarrhea, malignancy, as in cancer, or gangrenous dysentery. If they are having, see, dysentery as such is bloody diarrhea. If a patient is having gangrenous dysentery, then they'll have putrid odor of this thing, the feces will be putrid in odor. Then reaction, reaction में essentially आप pH देख रहे हैं. So color is done, odor is done. pH, what is the normal pH of feces? What should be the normal pH of species?
Between 6.5 to 7.5.
Okay, let's take an average of 7. Okay, depending on which textbook you are using, it will vary a little bit, but generally it will be close to 7. If a person is taking a lot of proteins, it will make the this thing, it will make the feces much more alkaline. If they are taking carbohydrates, it will become much more acidic. So that is the spectrum. अगर प्रोटीन ले रहे हैं तो ज़्यादा अल्कलाइन बनता है, अगर कार्बोहाइड्रेट ज़्यादा ले रहे हैं तो एसिडिक बनता. And again, in certain diseased condition which are changing the metabolic pH of your body, that will also influence your pH of the feces. Then you'll check for mucus. Normally, there should be a little amount of mucus, but if there is excessive quantity of mucus, it will generally indicate infection. Intestinal infection will cause excessive amount of mucus. Why does that happen? Why is there a lot of mucus being seen in a patient who has intestinal infection? Can anyone tell me?
So when there is an inflammation present in the rectum
Okay,
area.
inflammation की वजह से थोड़ा हो सकता, but if you remember inflammation altogether, uh, do you see a lot of mucus being produced? There is another reason. Definitely, inflammation does play a role. उसके अलावा एक और बड़ा रोल है. Something happens. Why mucus is being produced? अच्छा, normally how is your intestine lined? With what is your intestine lined? What is the inner lining of your intestine? What will be present inside? It is related to that. Why there will be excessive amount of mucus in your intestine? ठीक है, find out and tell me why there is excessive amount of intestinal infection. उसके अलावा you will also see that sometimes what will happen is the mucus that is present inside the feces, it might have streaks of blood essentially. That will mainly occur if the patient is having an intussusception, or if they are having ileocolitis, ileum and colon inflammation, या फिर bloody dysentery. ठीक है, म्यूकस विद ब्लडी स्ट्रिक्स जनरली ब्लडी डिसेंट्री या इंटोससेप्शन या ileocolitis में होता. I told you long ago what is intussusception. Infolding of the tube of your this thing, intestine, it will fall into itself. A big problem, you'll have to perform a surgery and untangle it. Then other than that, concretions क्या है? Generally you will see it in gallbladder stones. Patients who have gallbladder stones, उनके अंदर rarely you will see concretions present in the patient's this thing, feces. You can see it in stools of infants though, because they drink a lot of milk. उनके feces में बहुत ज़्यादा fat and बहुत ज़्यादा कसीन रहता. ठीक है, that fat or casein can form concretions. They can form small stones. So आप वैसे भी देख सकते. Then blood. So normally, should there be blood in your feces? In a normal person's feces, should there be blood?
No, sir.
No. Okay. When will you find blood other than damage to your intestine? When can you find blood in a person's feces other than direct damage to your intestines? So large intestine को direct damage नहीं हो रहा, उसके अलावा when will you find it? अच्छा, फाइंड आउट एंड टेल मी. यू ऑलरेडी रोट दिस ब्लड कौन से कंडीशन में दिखता बोल के परसों तो लिखे. Submitted it by Monday. Some people even submitted it on Tuesday. Oh, by the way, anyone who did not submit the assignment till now, they are marked a very nice big sunna. Okay, that means 0. So keep that in mind. If you are not submitting your assignments and you're not writing your tests, in the end, at one point of time before you are promoted to the next year, all the faculties are asked to submit the internal marks, average of internal marks and average of assignments. So all of that will count. If I take average of 0 plus 0 plus 0, I will get a very big 0. So keep that in mind. Okay. All right, so blood hai, then another thing you'll check for pus. Right, pus बोलना भूल गए थे. So normally pus should not be present. Generally, pus with blood or any purulent stool will be present if the patient has ulcerative colitis, severe inflammatory problem, or ulcerative carcinoma as well. Sometimes even bacillary dysentery में होता, but mostly because of a inflammatory process. उसके अंदर pus दिखता. Sometimes you might find a few food remnants if you're not chewing your food properly, or if it is not getting digested completely. You will see gross food remnants in the stool, which is normal. It is fine. You might see in some of them. Then uske alawa fats, there should be a some amount of fat. Now the total amount of fat in a person's stool will vary upon their diet, but in general the fat quantity in their stool should be somewhere between 7.3 to 27% of total stool. Meaning if you take 100% of the stool, out of that 7 to 23%, 7.3 hai ye, okay, 73% nahi, 7.3 to 27% of the person's feces per day will be made up of fat. Okay. Now there'll be different divisions for free fatty acid, combined fatty acid, so on and so forth. If the total amount of fat regularly is more than 25%, it will be categorized as steatorrhea. So a patient having excessive total fat in their feces will be categorized as having or diagnosed as having steatorrhea. ठीक है, steatorrhea बोलते. Steatorrhea. Okay. Uh, Now again, in this also you will find different percentages. For example, if the neutral fat is more than 11%, it is abnormal. If you find soap more than 16%, it is abnormal. Increased fractions of neutral fat, total fat will generally be seen if the patient has enteritis or if the patient has diarrhea. Okay. It might also be seen when a patient has extrahepatic jaundice, yeah, biliary obstruction. दोनों में भी increased amount of fat present रह सकता है, because normally those bile acids and bile salts are responsible for digestion of fats, especially bile acids. Without proper amount of bile acid, let's suppose a patient is having jaundice, and especially because of obstruction, that obstruction will not allow bile to come into your intestine. It will not pass through your intestine, and as a result of that blockage, what will happen is, without fat, without bile, fat cannot get absorbed. There are no micelle formation, emulsification of fat will not occur, and you cannot absorb fat. That is why also you will see excessive amount of fat being presented in a person's feces. Then uske alawa, occult blood. What is occult blood? What is the difference between finding just blood in your this thing and occult blood? Hmm. See, normally there should be no blood in your feces altogether. Occult blood is generally hidden. It will not be presented in the feces also very apparently. Okay, you have to perform several tests to find elements of blood in the patient's feces as well. Abnormal presence in the condition of occult hemorrhage is generally occurring because of a problem in GI tract. Okay, there is damage to that GI tract, but that bleeding is also not complete. So the feces will not have fresh streaks of blood. That blood will be hidden. Okay, and there are number of tests that you can do to detect this kind of blood, but essentially this will occur if the patient is having chronic ulcer, okay, cancer hai, gastric cancer especially, or if the patient has dysentery, typhoid, या फिर sometimes even hemorrhoids. All of these will cause occult blood to be seen. Sometimes even instrumentation, if you are inserting any instrument in the rectum of the patient for whatever procedure, उसमें भी हो सकता है कभी inner lining damage हुई तो it can cause occult blood. All right. Now, coming to the different parasites and ova that you see in feces, there are multiple. So, we'll not go over each and every one of them in detail. See, some of them include some of the important ones at least. You have Ascaris lumbricoides, राउंडवर्म भी बोलते हैं. You have Enterobius. Now they will grow to varying lengths in your this thing in your intestine. Some will grow very long. For example, Ascaris will go on for about 15 to 25 centimeters. टीनिया सोलियम कैन ग्रो इवन बिगर. ठीक है, 3 to 10 meters तक बड़ा हो सकता है, वो बहुत बड़ा होता है. एंड अगेन डिपेंडिंग ऑन डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ वर्म्स यू विल हैव डिफरेंट ग्रोथ. एंट्रोबियस वर्मिकुलरिस, स्मॉल राउंड वर्म, या उसको थ्रेड वर्म भी बोलते हैं, पिन वर्म्स भी बोलते हैं लोगों को. ये जनरली छोटे छोटे रहते हैं. एनसाइलोस्टोमा हो सकता. एनसाइलोस्टोमा डुओडेनाले, इट इज आल्सो कॉल्ड नेक्टर अमेरिकानस. हुकवर्म भी बोलते हैं एनसाइलोस्टोमा को. और हुकवर्म, this is hookworm, this is pinworm. ठीक है. Ascaris is called roundworm. और क्या दिखते हैं? You'll find this thing also, no? Ever heard of trichuris? Trichura. Whipworm बोलते हैं इसको. Trichura और whipworm. स्मॉल टाइनी विप जैसी रहती है, इट लुक लाइक अ हैंडल. ठीक है, 3 to 5 centimeters लंबी रहती है ट्राइक्यूरस. देन टीनिया. टीनिया के बहुत सारे स्पीशीज रहते हैं. यू हैव टीनिया सजिनाटा, टीनिया सोलियम एज वेल. ठीक है, दीज आर द टू कॉमन वंस दैट यू सी, either pork tapeworm or beef tapeworm. And you'll find different segments. Sometimes you will find just the scolex in the stool. You might find different segments in the stool. If you let it grow for a long period of time, you'll have to perform surgery to remove tinea because बहुत लंबा हो जाता है. ठीक है. Sometimes it is just be 1 to 3 centimeters in length. Sometimes it might reach meters, 3 to 10 meters लंबा हो सकता. ठीक है. So it can grow pretty long. Then you have intestinal flukes. ठीक है, they'll be very flat kind of suckers. They will literally attach to your wall and they will little small छोटे छोटे whitish worms जैसे रहती है, बहुत छोटे रहते हैं. So these are some commonly found worms that you see in अरे रे ऐसा, thought I put a new one. Okay, ठीक है, ये था दो. These are some of the normally seen worms in a patient's this thing. Normally, as a since if the patient is having that problem, ठीक है, these are the common ones that are found if parasitic infection हो रहा. Then उसके अलावा different types of protozoa can be seen. For example, different forms of protozoa, cystic form, trophozoitic form, especially entamoeba histolytic का. You might find Trichomonas vaginalis. You might find Giardia lamblia. Then you might find the eggs and larvae of different helminths. These are helminths. So we already went over these helminths when we discussed about anti-helminthic drugs. But essentially, I think जब आपको फर्स्ट टाइम में आपको इंट्रोडक्शन दिया था what are cholinergic drugs and what are anticholinergic drugs बोल के, those anti-helminthics will essentially work by either paralyzing the worm or killing the worm. ठीक है. You will find eggs and larvae of all of these helminths. You might find eggs and larvae of some other helminths as well. Hymenolpis का भी मिलता है, Hymenolpis nana बोल के एक रहता, that will also be strongyloids है. All of the helminths that we studied in anti-helminthic drugs वो पूरों के eggs and larvae मिल सकते हैं. Sometimes you might find yeasts, yeast and mold, especially blastocystis. You might find Candida albicans. Candida generally appears in patients who are immunodeficient. Sometimes you see bacteria. The two कौन से bacteria? Mostly they are non-pathogenic kind of bacilli. Lactobacillus. Sometimes gram-positive bacteria are seen. Mostly it is lactobacillus. कभी कभी cholera मिल सकता है, या cholera bacillus या फिर typhoid bacillus can be seen. By the way, have you all ever heard of cholera? What happens in cholera? There is a very distinct symptom of cholera that occurs with respect to stool or feces. पहले बहुत कॉमन था कॉलेरा, अब उतना नहीं है. दे विल हैव राइस वाटरी फीसिस. ठीक है, दैट इज अ हॉलमार्क ऑफ कॉलेरा, राइस वाटरी फीसिस में लगा. देन उसके अलावा यू सी सम वेरियस ऑर्गेनिजम्स, small बैक्टीरिया एंड ऑल that represent, that might not be pathogenic as such because they are normal inhabitants of your intestine. कभी कभी if they are getting damaged, they are dying, they'll be present in the stool, आ जाते कभी colonies. So those are the different pathogens and ova and this thing that you see in stool. And with that, we have completed your pathology syllabus.